heads, to be more specific. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations, a channel dedicated to the X-Files Collectible Card Game. I'm your host, Steven, and we're coming at you with another playtest for an upcoming fan-made expansion for the X-Files CCG's 5th season, which is going to pick up where the season 4 expansion left off, which you can also find playtest games for that on this channel, as well as some of the other channels dedicated to this game. I want to thank both of my two players who are availing themselves to playtest this latest labor of love, and those are Alastair Headden over in Scotland and Dave Meyer from Illinois. Gentlemen, again, thank you so much for taking the time to build some decks and teams to put this new expansion to a stress test. Each of you guys thus far has done one playtest already, and
I think so.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts on what you've seen in that first game, and Tell me a little bit about like what you decided to do with this second game. Did you change up your decks? Did you change up your teams? What's the thought process for this second?
I'll leave that up to. There we go. I'll leave that up to you.
So the first playtest I played was the one against 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, and I think it was the first playtest of playtest season for season 5. And I was just saying before the stream started to Stephen that I have fallen behind a little bit on catching up on the other ones that have happened since then. So Dave and Stephen will have to keep me right as to what I'm doing with some of these cards, if they've been updated, but the text hasn't changed yet on them. But I'm looking forward to trying a whole bunch of new cards. I kind of went for maybe some of the more obvious ones in my game against 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 last time. So I've broadened horizons this time and picked out a few that I hadn't used last time. And I think got up to quite a bit over half the deck of season 5 cards. So let's see what's going on with them. And Dave, what about you? How's it looking for you?
I have changed nothing. It is my deck that I played Jonathan Headden with. And it was just one of those ones. It worked out well enough during that game. It's got a mix mash of season 5. It's got a majority season 5. It's got a mix mash of some 4 and then staples, because I'm always in the camp that the deck has to be viable. If the deck does not work, you can't test how it works with existing cards. So we'll go through the whole thing as if I have a Langley to stop, because I have a card that is essentially an automatic Langley on my table. That's a little bit of a spoiler to my team, but I like to still go through the process of what would happen in the event that something happens. Like, okay, does this work? Does it not work? But I don't want to hobble myself by not having them, because you can't just go, well, here's a bluff. You can't stop it because you didn't put Langleys in your deck. So. But yeah, I didn't do much to difference. It's the same deck. So because I'm lazy.
Well, nevertheless, I mean, even in that last game you did with Jonathan, we did not see every card in your bureau deck. So, and I don't even think you played. I don't recall if you even used Buyers' effect.
I tried to use the effect, but then we had problems with it. Not problems with it. I had problems with it, where I think that he doesn't help himself, he helps other people. And that made me sad, because I sent him to a site by himself to investigate computer and used his thing to try to help him, and then found out that was not the wording on the card, and I was mad. So, boo.
Well, and we are, these are new cards, and it's not like with the commercial cards, which we've seen and played so many times, where some of them we could all recite verbatim at this point. Yeah. This is a brand new set of card effects that are, a lot of them are wholly unique. Some of them are variation on a theme, and because we are trying to remain fairly faithful to the cards that were released before the game went belly up. So this expansion contains 175 cards and a couple of promos peppered in there. And this is the 9th playtest that we have done for it thus far. You can find the 6 of the previous playtests on this channel, and the 2 most recent ones are on Nathan Petroshak's channel, Chasing the Dragon. So you can check that out. So you can watch some of the previous playtests that we've done. And as Alastair was alluding to earlier about keeping him abreast of what changes have happened or are going to happen to these card drafts, we have already seen a lot of changes, small and large, made to the greater number of cards in this set. Sometimes there's just small tweaks in the game effects language, sometimes big ones. There's been a lot of things that we found in those first 8 playtests that have changed the card and hopefully made it a lot more serviceable than when I first conceived it. And so that's what we're going to continue to do today. We're going to continue to put these cards through the ringer and find out what's working, what isn't, how can we improve upon it. So this is going to function just like a typical game of X-Files CCG. It may run a little longer because sometimes we have to talk out this new card effect and also make sure that, okay, like Dave kind of made an example of her, am I reading the card text correctly? Am I understanding it correctly? Does this jive? Does it fit with the game? And, you know, is it broken? Is it too overpowerful? Is the card too inexpensive? All those little things that we have to look at with each of these cards before we make them available for people to order. And I do want to, and in saying that, I do want to thank our dear leader and custom card maestro, Dax Golding, for making the drafts of these cards available to us to playtest. Dax Golding has been the key figure behind all of the fan-made cards that we have made for this expansion, the previous expansion, and all the other dream cards that are floating around out there. And so you can find some of those by reaching out to him at the X-Files Collectible Card Game Facebook group, as well as our Discord community. Links in the description below. Now that I've got all that out of the way, gentlemen, are you guys ready to sling some cardboard?
Sure.
Actually, when I say sling cardboard, sling cheap printer paper that you use to print off these playtest cards, actually.
Hey, I've got actual backers to all mine, so I don't know about cheap.
Backers notwithstanding. All right, guys. So I'm going to head to the back, and I'll be taking feverish notes. And do feel free to call upon me if any of the cards have you scratching your heads. And have a great game.
Also, do me a favor. Pop in if you've made any changes to some of the cards that I play, because I don't know about that. I didn't watch all the play tests. I've seen some of them, but not all of them.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I will certainly do so so that those who are watching and watching the live chat who want to weigh in on some of these cards that they're seeing, yes, I will keep you guys aware of what has changed, because as I've already said, we found a number of these cards need some tweaking to refine their effects. So yeah, a lot of cards have been changed already, and so undoubtedly you will be seeing me jump in even just as making a footnote here, like, hey, just so you know, we're doing this. We're going this route with this particular card. I think only maybe 1 or 2 of them have been completely revamped, if I'm not mistaken. Only 2. But I'll let you guys know if they come up. All right. And again, have a great game. But of course, with every playtest, it is not about the winning.
He's doing something. All right.
Hey, David and Mike. See
hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Oh, yeah, I don't even pay attention to chat, so you're going to have to fill me in, because I got to pay attention.
I see you've got the star there ready for deciding who
I do, the Phil Fest.
Trusty star, yeah. But first, I guess we should introduce our teams, because I've not had a chance to catch up with your last game yet, Dave. So I'm not even entirely sure who's on your team. So
this is actually the Lone Gunman, because I was the first one to actually put them all together, because I had seen the previous ones and I thought everyone did Sheriff Derp. I think that was that was Guillaume that did Sheriff Derp when he played with you. But I could have sworn somebody was going to take the gunmen right out of the gate, because they're actually a pretty strong team. They're not physically strong, but they're mentally strong. They got some good computer stuff on them. But I've got Frohicke, I've got Langley, I've got Byers. I do have an agent 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, which is she's just a little bit of a filler agent, because I needed to fill out the extra 2, and I didn't want to put manners in there. Sorry, Steven. I didn't want to put manners in there. So I got Kalika and I've got Kresge, the meat shield / combat guy. So at least it gives him a little bit of beef. So no, I don't watch the chat unless you pop it up. Yeah, that's fine. Talk trash about me. Go ahead, do it. So, but that's my team. My team is a scrappy bunch of computer guys and some throwaways.
Yeah, I'm surprised that no one's been on that lone gunman plan before. I didn't do it in that first game I played of this because I wanted to try out if I was also on the Sheriff Hartwell plan, but I think I played the other version of him to Guillaume.
The not derpy guy. All right.
The not derpy one, yeah. But I'm really excited to see them on a team. I think it'll be really really fun to see them in action. The team I have for today is a few of the new Season 5 characters. So we've got Holly Patton, who's the 2-cost agent, Michael Kinsley, who's one of the 4-cost agents, Carla Stonecipher, who's another 4-cost, Section Chief Blevins from the Premiere set, and Walter Skinner from the Premiere set as well here. So quite a bureaucracy heavy team this evening for me, and one or two cards that need counters on them, which I'll do quickly. In fact, just the one card with the counter on. So that's him all set up and ready to go. So shall I let you do the honors with the Phil Fest stars?
Sure. Phil, Phil or no Phil?
I will take no Phil today, please.
No Phil. There it goes. Drop. Ding, 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 ding. It is actually no Phil, so you have your choice.
So I will take first player investigating first. We'll see how it works out. So good. Yeah, I've got my X-Files ready, agents are ready. You all good to go, Dave?
I am.
Okay, draw 7.
6, 7. I have 7.
Okay. So I have 7 as well. So I will start my turn by drawing a card.
All right.
Then I will create some resource points. And this is a pretty good bumper crop to start the game with here. So I get 3 from Skinner because he is in the Bureau, which is his game effect. 2 from Blevins because he is in the Bureau, and that's his game effect. I'm not going to send him to Conspiracy, although I could if I wanted to. So that's 5. Then I get another 2 from Stonecipher because she's in the same section of the table as Kinsley, so that's 7. 1 from Kinsley is 8, and 1 from Patton is 9. So I get to jump all
look at you go, 9.
14. And I have to think about whether I'm going to buy some cards or not here. Well, one thing
14 resource. So
how did that happen? One thing I'm going to do straight away is play a friend in the FBI. Use the old trick of pay for it with itself. Take the 2 off immediately, so it will tick down to 8 and put it up there till it does its thing again next turn.
Actually, I gotta sell some stuff first. I gotta see if I can sell some stuff.
Sorry, yeah, I was being bad and doing that in my
no problem. I was actually reading because I got so many new cards. I have to read so many to figure out if they're actually worth selling.
I'm gonna pay 4 to draw cards here, so that'll be me down to 10 and drawing 4.
All right.
So 4 to hand and pass it over to you for selling and buying, Dave.
All right. All right, I got to see what I get. Well, all right. She may have to go away just solely because I need a little resource. I need some conspiracy points. Sadly I have to sell my Michelle Fazakis. I don't even know how to say that, but she is actually one of the newer cards. And so she's one of the newer cards, but she's worth 4. That's why I kind of added her in here. But she apparently, if I could attach this witness to a team. She will add her skills to the appropriate skill check, like an agent, observation 2, CRC. So she's a nice little bumper, but I just need the conspiracy points at this point. So I'm going to go up to 9 on that. And I'm going to buy 3. Two. I'm going to buy 2 because if I overextend myself, I can't do anything with it. So,
Okay. Let's play those cards.
All right, there we go. I got 2. So there we go. I got my 2.
Okay.
Have at it.
So there's no healings from the first turn. Requisition. I don't have any equipment that I want to hand out. So it'll be deployment. And I think I'm going to start with. Yeah, we're going to start with Kinsley, Stone Cipher, and Patton going to the field here. And I will leave Evans and Skinner back a little bit to indicate that they remain in the bureau.
Sure.
And case assignment. I am going to. I'm going to pay 1, which takes me down to 9, to play one of the new sites from Season 5, the Dunbar Movie Theatre, Gables Corner, Ohio. So cost 1 is Bureaucracy 5+, or Criminal Investigation 5+. You may ask one motive or method question. If you ask, is the motive ideology, the skill check prerequisite is 4+. And I will be using that skill check modifier for this site.
Okay.
Quickly, before you get on to playing bluffs as well, I'm going to pay another 1 to play another new Season 5 card, which is No Secrets here. No Secrets here, costs 1, event card. Place this card on a site during your case investigation, case assignment phase. Before bluffs have been assigned, the directed player must play all cards face up at this site. So
okay, perfect. Yeah, I can do that. Hey, just out of curiosity, since I can't pull up any of these cards on your site yet, skills. How's the skill checks looking like those for those guys? I don't know what their skills are.
That's a good question. So we've got Stone Cipher contributing 2 bureaucracy, Kinsley contributing 3 bureaucracy, Patton contributing 2 bureaucracy. We've got, for shooting and such like, 2 long range from Stone Cipher, 2 long range from Kinsley, and 1 long range from Patton, and 1 close range from Stone Cipher, 1 close range from Kinsley, and 2 close range from Patton.
Right.
Any other questions? Feel free to ask, or I could give you a complete rundown of skills if it would be helpful.
I'm just curious. Does anyone have computer skill?
Computer skill. We do have 2 points from Holly Patton here on computer, but that is it.
Okay. Well, okay. So right now I can't play anything face down. So I will wait till you go to the site to play something face up.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So I'm going to send the team to the movie theater.
Yay!
What have you got in store for them?
For what I have in store from them is instant message from beyond. It says play to increase the site prerequisite by 1 point for each agent on the team that has a computer skill value.
Okay, so that is going to increase it by 1?
Just by 1, and you're trying to go for the low balls, so that means that if you're trying to go for the low ball, you might just have the low ball. That's what I'm hoping. I have to pay 3 for it, so regardless of what I do, I have to pay 3.
Because I'm using the prerequisite modifier would be 4+. Your card here is going to change that to being 5+.
5+.
At the moment, I'm on 7 between the team as a whole, but is there more coming down the line at them here, Dave?
No, that was just bizarre. No, it was. I'm just very surprised that you just decided to go for the low hanging fruit of the. I thought that you just had barely made the cut. That's why I was because that was bureaucracy. Yeah, I thought that all the bureaucracy was on there on the bureau's part. That might not help me. No, you can do it. Because if you can do it, I can't do. I can't. That all I can do is add 1 to that. I thought if you were going for the low ball, I thought that you only had enough to cover it.
Oh, right. No, I was just being very, very cautious on the game. Maybe he can throw a bunch at them. Maybe I should just go for that look. The reason for going for the low ball is that 2 of my agents could have completed that on their own, so I could lose 1, still make it.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
thinking.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a handicap, not knowing some of the newer agents and what they can do. So I just definitely need to get myself versed with some of the new cards.
It makes you realize how much we love this website, right? This is the
Well, yeah, not only that, but we've played with the original agents for so long. We know that, okay, bureaucracy is Skinner and Blevins. The new guys, you're like, okay, what are they contributing to? So
yeah, absolutely. But it does mean that I'm tied into asking a reasonably niche question here. So my question from this site is going to have to be, is your motive ideology?
it's going to be a very short game. Yes.
Oh, wow.
That could be a very short game. So
might have time for two, Stephen. We'll see. Sometimes you get lucky on this first question.
And and it was a random pick. It was nothing I went through to go, hey, let's try to fool people. It was just I pulled it from the deck.
Okay, so okay, right, that is me scored off everything except the ideology ones there. So I will send this site off to the discard along with no secrets here. And double check I don't need to. Oh, actually, I have one more card to play before the turn ends. I'm going to spend two and play the third man. This is another Season 5 card, which says, attach this to Section Chief Blevins. If you choose to contribute to the conspiracy pool during the briefing phase, treat Blevins as a Res 3 while he's in the Bureau section. So,
look at that. That's only if you're adding the CP, right?
Only for the conspiracy and only if he's in the Bureau. So
that's nice. Yeah, that's nice because he's kind of he's a Bureau guy anyway. He kind of hangs out there all the time too.
It seemed like a pretty good bargain to me. So
yeah.
Give it a whirl, see how it works out. I'm still over my hand limit for debriefing, so I have to discard something here. The sensible thing would be to see if we're looking at anything that says motive on it. Okay, yeah, I will discard my other copy of the movie theater, which is the site that I. So.
What, you don't want to ask motive again? Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Got to be sure. And with that, that's to seven cards, and I will throw it over to you for your turn, Dave.
Alrighty, I have 7 cards. I did not draw crazy like that, like I thought I was going to. So, so I've got 7, so I'm good to go. I'm going to draw my 1, and then we're going to create some res. This is also a res. It's the res is actually pretty nice considering they got 6 across the board, no matter where they are. So I get 2, 4, 6. So that puts me at 11. Do I want to buy anything else? At this point, I do not wish to buy anything else. So it is up to you to sell and buy.
So let's have a look here. What we have. I will sell. Yeah, okay. Do this. I'm going to sell a shotgun for 6 and Skirs rental house for 1. So 7 in total, jumps up to 12. And I think we'll buy 4 cards with that. So dropping back down to 8 conspiracy and 4 cards to hand.
Okay.
And throw it over to you, Dave.
Okay. I need to see. That's where it's going to happen. All right. Okay, we've already got my we have no healing, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. Requisition, no requisition. I got nothing to requisition. Deployment, they're in the field. They're all in the field. Okay. Case assignment. I'm going to assign some cases. I'm going to assign a Fairfax County, Virginia. I think that's a new one. I'm not sure. Yes, it is. That one is a computer 5, evidence collection 5, and it is a motive question or results. And I'm going to also play another one, which is Hotel James Monroe, Boston, Mass. I think that is a Scully card. I don't know. Does not. It appears to be a Scully card. And that is a computer 4, and that's a method question.
Interesting. Okay. I will. Your team is just so well equipped for these computer sites that it's
yeah
challenge to try and stop. I'm going to put two bluffs on the hotel. Is it the hotel? One of
yeah, it says that's the Hotel James Monroe, Boston, Maryland, and that is a method question. So yes, I will put 2 on that. There you go. You got 2 on it.
Okay, and over to you for assigning teams.
Okay, let's see what we want to do. We will set up. We're going to do a lot of shenanigans here. He's going to go there. They're going to go there. Yeah. I have to read this again. Okay, yes. He's got to go here. Let's send them over here. Yeah, let's send there we go. We got that's the teamage we got there. I think that will yes, that will work. Okay, cool. So there we're gonna go this is the team setup. So this is how we got this. I am going to go to the one that has no bluffs first.
That sounds very sensible to me. So we've got Langley, Collector, and Kresge. Yeah, I cannot do anything about this one, Dave. So you're straight into a question here.
Well, actually, I'm not yet straight into a question because that is a computer 5. This is where I'll use Buyer's little token to help at another site. Yay! Use that. Even though I want him to help himself, he's going to help Langley make that 5.
Steven's very happy in the chat. Very happy.
Well, I learned my lesson last time when I did it stupidly last time. So I have 5. I'm going to go there. I'm going to ask this question. That other one's a method over there. So I will go for a result. Let's go for a result. And since death is the big boy, let's go. Is your result death?
My result is not death. No.
It is not death. All right. Let me mark off a bunch of garbage. All right. No Brother Martin. No alien experimenters. And this is number 1. So I write that one down. Death. Charbonnet. Death. No tombs. No Grable. It's very small. I do not like this. I wish I had my giant pad.
You have taken using a Sharpie for these. I find Sharpie to be pretty it's just on this. Like you used to use biro, and then I was like, sometimes maybe I used to use pencil before then. Sharpie is just nice, definitive for what's cleared off and not an option.
Oh yeah, I'm always a Sharpie guy. Now, it has come back to bite me when I went all the way through to a line that was a little high or a little low.
That's true.
Paddock. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 gone. Okay, cool. That one will go away. I will not add. I will not guess. All right. Let's see what I can do with the other site. Let's see. Okay, now here's the question: hallway or all at once? What are your suggestion? What do you like doing for Langley things? Do you like to set it up as a strategy, or do you like to go just chaos to the wind? And I personally have always been a hallway guy.
We can totally do them one at a time. I'm going to think really quickly on this one as to whether I whether I actually want to pay for them or not. I need to be careful here about whether I can actually do enough. This is a computer 4 plus, right? This
computer 4. We have computer 6.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we've got Langley's ability here as well, which is, I think. So I am going to pay for them both.
Okay.
But just to tempt you on using Langley's token and see if I can get that token off from here. So the first
right, I'm there.
Laser barrier. So this is an old favorite from Premiere. It costs me 1 because it's face down, and play to prevent one agent assigned to a site from contributing the agent's skills to one skill check, your choice that the team makes this turn. So I would like to stop Langley from contributing his skills to the site this turn.
Langley's not at the site.
Oh, sorry. Who have you got here?
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Byers.
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Byers.
Both of them have 3. Yep, both of them have 3.
So in that case, I will go with 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 here. No computer from 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 with this laser barrier.
Gotcha. And I will use the token off of Langley to say, nay, Mr. Laser Barrier, because you're going to try to set me up for something else. This is the hallway. This is the hallway. Let's see. What did you throw at me now?
Absolutely. And actually, in that case, the sensible thing for me to do is not to pay for this other one, but I will show you what it is. And it was Season 5.
I like that one.
Bottle. Yeah, decrease all skill levels on one agent by 2 for this turn only. Sadly, that's just not enough to interfere with that investigation. So I will send that unpaid to the discard, and you're good for another question.
Very good card, though. I do like that card. It's one of my favorites out of the 5 set. I think it's really cool. So I will ask the method question at this point, because they do pass it. They have a computer of 6 for a computer of 4 for a method question, and now I wasn't getting ready for that, so I have absolutely no idea what my big boy is. There's actually a whole bunch of them.
There's a very unfortunate typo in your last comment there.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well,
a Freudian slip, some might say.
Yeah. I will ask, is your method subterfuge?
Well, this is going to spice the game up. My method is subterfuge.
Oh, right. Good deal. Okay. This is where it gets a little weird. So now I have to circle that and circle that. And so then I'll circle that and circle that. And then we'll nuke out the rest of them. Okay, those are dead. All right. Subterfuge.
David, please, that's quite the image.
Okay, that red. That's 2. Now that's a dead one. Hey, that takes an entire goodbye affiliation evolutionary. Oh boy. Yeah, this did make it a little interesting.
Yeah, you should have done, because you've already got the one incorrect as well. So
yeah, and that's geez, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that sounds.
So if that's because subterfuge and death already killed the vampire, so those are gone. I'm just gonna knock those out because those are already dead. That's already dead. Donnie Faster got nuked because of death. There is no subterfuge. Well, there's one subterfuge, and that was Tombs, and that's gone. Violence and possession. There we go. There's possession, manipulation. There we go. Yep. Okay. So we're at 7. So yes, I'm not gonna guess at that point, because once again, you've got me down to ideology. Don't want to. So They're going to go and do the thing. But before I end up doing that, I am going to play a straight contacts for one to go get myself somebody. Let's see. Let's see. Is he in here? I don't even know if he's in here. Hey, he is. There's Mr. Thinker. Mr. Thinker. And then I'm going to shuffle, and then I'm going to use 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's little ability, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. I'm going to use 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's ability. Oh, she gets 2 of these. I don't know that. She's kind of neat. She can discard a token to draw a card, which is neat, especially if you're kind of card starved. It's a nice little thing for somebody who's a 1 agent. I do like 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 in here because she's a nice filler, and she's got some. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of skills, but the fact that she can draw you something if you're dead drawing is very helpful.
Yeah, I think I've used her in a game at least once before, and I really like that card draw ability. Yeah,
she's definitely. I think she's more useful than Kresge. Kresge is definitely nice because he gives you a little bit. Because right now my combat would be garbage without him. My combat would be 5 and 5 if I did not have Kresge on my team. But it's a bunch of nerds, so they don't know how to fight, other than Frohickey. And I am going to use the 1 and draw one extra card for that. So, and that's going to be that. And that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. That's my turn.
I'm also at 7 cards for debriefing. So with that, I will move to my briefing phase and start by drawing a card.
Okay.
That is a card.
That is a card.
Surprisingly. So resource is okay. So I'll get 2 for friend in the FBI, 3 for Skinner. We're going to send Blevins to the conspiracy pool to make use of this new card here. So he will contribute 3 to conspiracy.
That's very cool. I like that.
Okay, so that's 5 res, 6, 7 because she's in the same zone as Kinsley. So then 1 from Kinsley is 8, 1 from Patton is 9. So they jump up to 15 res, which is very exciting. And buying cards. I think I probably want to buy some cards here. I'm going to go ahead and buy 6 cards here, so that will take me down to 9 res. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And with that, I will pass to you, Dave.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to hang out of that because I want to see how it works, but I'm going to get rid of the Thinker because I need to get rid of the Thinker. Get 5 of them for that. Get myself up to 9. Let's get rid of the Thinker and Thinky Man. Let's see, what do I want to try to do here? Okay, that's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll get 2 cards, see what happens. Oh, well, I don't know, new cards. So. No, and I'm not equipping him with Kresge. I'm not equipping Kresge. I do not have a vending machine attached to him. I'll use now.
Okay. So I'm just before I do anything else, I've just realized that I have a hard evidence here. So
cool.
I'll play that to net 3 res, which will take me up to 12. And then healing, no healing going on. Requisition. I actually have some requisition to do here, which is exciting. So I'm going to spend 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to play cell phone. The agent may add his skills to a skill check that is occurring in another section of the table. The agent's skill is reduced by 1. Long range and close range combat may not be added. So we'll do the old favorite of giving that to Skinner.
Keep in there, keep getting his res, but he just could call in.
Yeah, he can
-1 no less though. That's the one downfall. -1.
Very true. He's a bit reduced, and he can't shoot down a phone either, which is very Okay, so that's requisition deployment. We're going to leave everything as is just now. So same 3 stay in the field, and Skinner stay back. And
all right. Just out of curiosity, what's the keywords on the 3 agents in the field?
Keywords on these agents are, so we've got Stonecipher is Agent FBI Law, Kinsley, who is Agent FBI Law Skeptic, and Patton, who is Agent FBI Law Information.
Perfect.
I'm going to spend 2 res to play Dale's Tells His Tales. Attach an agent along with 1 res. This res may be used to pay for any keyword bureaucracy cards. If you use this res, replace it during your briefing phase.
I do like those cards. I have a few of those in my deck. Not that one because I don't have bureaucracy, but I have other ones. But I do like the refilling. It kind of pays. You put a little investment into, like, as long as you're going to pay a bunch of those, but you get them later in the game and you kind of wonder whether or not you keep them.
Yeah, I think you're probably selling them a lot. I feel like this is maybe almost as late as you want to be dropping these to get a return on them. So, but I'll go for it here. And
late. I like the idea of late being 1 question in.
Yeah, turn 2. It's getting a bit late for these, but
it's getting late too.
And this turn, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this token actually straight away here to play one of the new Season 5 locations, San Clair Pediatric Center, San Diego, California. This is Medical 5+ or Bureaucracy 5+, and you can ask an affiliation or method question. And then I have to pay for the other one, sadly. Mattawa, Washington from Premier, Bureaucracy 4+. You may ask 1 result question. And sadly, no little Gibson praise cards to make you play everything face up this time. So over to you for any.
I do like that Gibson. The Gibson's fun. I do like the Gibson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do.
What's that card called? No secrets here. No secrets.
Yeah, no secrets here. Yeah, I do like that. Okay, Mattawa's getting a bluff.
Okay. So this leaves me with the question: do I go for the slightly harder one with no bluffs, or the easier one that does have a bluff?
Or just leave Mattawa sitting around on the table for the rest of the game, and you can go back to it later. What do you want?
I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to send Stones. You sent positively gleeful. We'll send Stonecipher to Mattawa.
Okay.
The other two are going to go to San Clair. And we'll split them up like that.
Okay.
We'll start investigations at Mattawa and give you a chance to unleash the bluff.
Unleash it I will. It is the Bridge of Sighs, which is an event that is not. It is a bluff that is a fake bluff.
True bluff.
It's one of the it's one of the Season 5 ones, and I do like it, but it involves a little setup because you need abductee to be on your cards, which is really nice if you can set it up with that other card that adds abductee to your cards. And then you could just nuke them and send them down into the deck, which is nice, but it's definitely not a spot where free. But you have free rate. Well, actually, I don't know yet. Mattawa, what is it again?
So we're on Bureaucracy 4+, and I'm relying on Skinner with his cell phone contributing to this skill check here at a reduced. He's reduced by 1, but that still gives him 3 bureaucracy. So in total, there's 5 bureaucracy on this site. But it's a very fragile little house of cards to get the team to passing this one. So if you've got even the slightest disruption, you still might be able to upset the apple cart here.
Not enough of a disruption to make it worth my while. So you can ask this question.
Okay, so now it's a quick bit of number crunching to work out what the best result question is here. Let's see if anything jumps out as a Okay, yeah, I think we've got one option that is more likely than the others. So I will ask, is your result manipulation?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to here. That get your yeses on your motive earlier. I did not write your motives. You caught me unawares. So I should come up with 9 of the ideologies. Ah, you're doing the same thing I did. Killing an entire section because
Yeah, I think I've managed
only one of them matched up.
2 sections off now, maybe. I think I've
Oh.
ruled out government and evolutionary here.
Oh, actually, you have. Good job.
Dave's motives somehow involves cake. Where's the cake?
Yeah, no cake today. And I said no to manipulation, so that knocks that guy out. And I said no to manipulation. So this is 1, this is 2. I always like keeping these because then it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea, like what people will not ask, but let me fix that. That does.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that took out another one. Not took out a full one, but it took out another ideology. So yeah,
I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5. Yeah, 6. So you got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so we're closing in, but still a bit far out for a guess, especially in a playtest game. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
6 guesses. So I'll send Matzawa to the discard pile and move on to St. Clair.
Okay, this is where I wanted to do something. So let's see what happens.
Okay, so yeah, because the team, just to clue everyone in, the team at the moment does have 5 bureaucracy, but it's exactly 5 with 3 from Kingsley.
All right, I have to actually read this card. It's the Skinhead Man. I am going to attack you with a season 5 Skinhead Man. I think he's and now you may or may not have a way to negate him, but I will pay for the 6, and then we will see what happens. He is an affiliation adversary. I gotta read what the hell he does. Oh, tiny words. Oh God, really tiny words. The Skinhead Man may use subterfuge or martial arts and subterfuge cards. I don't have those, of course. The close range during the close range combat. Oh man, this is. Oh, the adversary will negate up to 2 points of damage from any one source. My choice. He has an attack. He has a long range of 4, a short range of 3. And a health of 5.
So if I couldn't negate this adversary, it would be a team kill. Both of them would be dead here because I could only dish out 3 in long range. He would survive long range. He would take out one of them in long range, and then in close range he could get the other one, whatever happened. However, very luckily for me, I do have an X in hand that I will.
You have an X. Which is good, which is what it was a gamble that I was willing to take just because I wanted to see him come out. But yes, that would have been interesting to see him work because his value of 6 is not bad for what he does, especially so. Yes, during the close range combat phase, adversary that everyone will take away. Yeah, that's actually really nice. So as long as he can make it by long range, he could definitely do damage. I like him. I think he's a good addition, and plus he's another affiliation guy, so it's helpful because you add that to the brother Martin groups and stuff like that, and see how that goes. But yeah, that's good. There we go. All right, I have nothing else to do with that because I have a whopping 1 CP at this point. I threw everything at that one.
Okay, so the team soldier on here and get to an affiliation or method question. Which am I best asking here? I think the better option is an affiliation question. So we'll go with that and ask, is your affiliation occult?
Yeah, actually it is.
Okay, so it was a 50-50, so I didn't really get anything more, but I did get them all into one
Sure.
One variation here. So, and it would give me a 1 in 3 guess, but you are very, very close behind me here on your own investigations.
Well, there it is. Yeah. I am looking for where my other pad went. because I actually went and started writing on to do yours, but I don't know where it went. I think my dog came over and started causing problems. Oh, there it is. Okay. Perfect.
No corners missing from like the classic dog.
No. I was just glad that I wasn't writing on the one that I've already been choosing for yours and confusing myself further. But okay, so you've got. All right. Okay. And so you've got this, and that knocks that out, knocks that out, knocks that out, knocks that out. And that's number 3. All right. Cool.
So I think for now, we will say goodbye to this side, not risk that 1 in 3 guess, and send it over to you for your turn. I'm just going to make sure that I don't need to discard anything.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6.
I actually do need to discard a card here. I'm going to discard FBI Courier, which was really only in here to help Skinner get the cell phone if he was in the field. Mm-hmm. So this is the one that lets you put bureau equipment on agents in the field. So we'll discard.
That's neat. I like that. I do. I do not have enough bureaucracy in that deck, so it is. I haven't seen that one yet because I decided to build directly to for my deck. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do that. So, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 cards. I'm good. So I guess it's my turn. Let's see.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll take my 1 card to start it. Let's get my 6 res. 1, 2, 4, 6. And get out of there, green one. Where did you come from? All right, so I'm going to have to probably buy some cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I shouldn't hang on to that. Let's see, how many do I want to buy? All right, I do need to hang on to those. Got that. 4 cards. I'm buying 4 cards.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. I'm happy now. Okay, go ahead. All you.
I am just going to sell 1 card this turn. It is Nurse Owens, who's a good one for selling. So 6 conspiracy into the bank. Takes up to 16. And I will buy 3 cards here. Actually, no, yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 to hand. And throw it over to you for the rest of your turn.
Okay. I will start by let's see. First of all, healing, got none. I'm not dead. Requisition, deployment, field. That's where they are. They are in the field. So I'm gonna, but I do have to shove them over slightly because I have something for the bureau. It's a card that I have not played yet, but I think that might help me help me. Let's see. And I'm going to see what just to make sure what it does. Okay, cool. It doesn't say once per turn. Dr. Heitz Werber says, place this card in your bureau. And let me pay my 4 first before I start reading off that whole shit thing. Says, place this card in your bureau section along with 2 tokens, which I'll put 2 tokens on it. Says, you can select 1 card from your discard pile and place it in your hand. If the chosen card has the keyword alien investigation or behavioral, that cost to play is reduced by 1. So he's going to hang out over there.
Can I ask a question before you do anything else, Dave?
Sure.
Which is, do you have any cards with alien investigation or behavioral in your discard right now?
Not yet.
Okay, so I will take this opportunity to. Oh no, we established I'm not allowed to do this. I was about to do something, and we've already told me off for trying to do what I was attempting to do there.
Oh, a bluff in the middle of nowhere.
A bluff.
I do want to point out with the Dr. Height's Verber witness card that it will be modified to include the last sentence that says discard this card when the last token is removed.
Yeah.
Kind of a given with us X-Files CCG veterans, but nevertheless, I wanted to clarify that when those tokens are taken off that witness card, he
goes away.
Got a one-way trip to the trash bin.
That's fair. Yep, no problem.
And Dave, go ahead with your turn there. You're all good.
Okay, so that was me playing him. Now, whether or not it actually helps me now or later or whatever, I'm going to hang on to this. But what I'm going to do is I am going to now do case assignment. We got Arecibo, Puerto Rico, which strangely enough is an alien investigation one. I'm going to pay 1 for that. I've also got Farmington, New Mexico. That is also a computer and alien investigation card. And that will be it.
Okay. I am. Yes. Okay. I have to do this now. I've played this card before. Pay 2 for Distrust, which is an event from the new set. Play this card during your opponent's case assignment phase. 2 agents of my choice may not contribute to any of the same skill checks this turn.
Would you like to pay for it?
I already have, so I'm all
I
in
will
on
use
this.
I will use my Frohickey token to make that go away.
It is gone off to the discard, and I will. I'll play 1 bluff on Farmington.
Farmington gets a bluff.
And,
alrighty.
Over to you for team assignment.
Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. Alien Investigation 5, Computer 5. And that's I forgot to say that's a motive and a method, and the other one is an affiliation or a method. And I've got you with a method. So I am going to do this. Let's send some people places. Hang on. Also, Byers gets 3 tokens. I actually put only 1 on him, so that was silly. So I am going to do. We're going to send him over here with, once again, his little pals. We're going to put these guys over here as that. All right, we are going to go to the first site first. It is going to be computer of 5. I currently have a computer of 4.
So this is Arecibo right here, Dave.
Arecibo, that is correct.
Okay. And we've got Langley, Kaleka, and Kresge. Okay. I will. Yeah. I'm going to pay 6, so I'm going to 5 conspiracy here to play a face-up season 5 card, which is the Bluff Mad Scientist. So I play it to gain one of the following effects. One of those effects is change the site prerequisite to Sciences 3+, which is the one that I'm going to use here. So Arecibo needs Sciences 3+ to complete now.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, the sciences guys are on the other team. So while a very cool card, I am going to have to return the favor and actually play a legitimate Langley on that one.
You got it. Okay. So my mad scientist is off to the discard pile.
But you still have things to do.
Still.
While we are on the subject of the mad scientist, Alastair, wanted to get your opinion on the cost in one of the more recent playtest games. It was used, and then the question of its cost came up. It seemed a bit too pricey then, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it now, especially since it just got negated. So, how do you feel about it, sir?
I think it's good. I think
what else does it do? What else does it do? You said it's got 3.
Negate one sciences card, or increase the cost of all res cards played at this site by 2. So it's extremely versatile.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's, especially if all cards played at this site by 2. If you had done that, then I couldn't have. I would have cost me 4 to use Langley. That would have been. That's pretty beefy to say. Okay, I'm going to play this and set you up, and then now it's like, okay, it's going to cost more. Well, it would play if you said it can cost you more, but like, say I have an X or something in my hand and you have the ability to make my X worth 5 RP. So you put that card out there and then just hit me with an age or with an adversary. I think that's 6 is not bad because he's very versatile.
I think
that's in my opinion.
At 6, it's like a B+ card. And if you take it down to 5, it becomes like an A. So it just depends like how powerful you want it to be in the set as well. Like obviously us players will always clamor for like the best value we can get, and I can see the appeal of being like, let's knock it down and make it a 5, because it does become a much stronger card at that point. But I think 6 is totally reasonable. I don't think it needs to be.
And plus, considering it would be 5 if face down. So it's like it's because it's a bluff. You did play the 6 face up. So being a 5 that's a much more powerful McGrath, because McGrath just sends one guy away. This guy has the ability. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can do a bunch of stuff. So the sciences usually will do it. Sciences are pretty weak. I mean, mine is enough to cover 4 sciences as a team, just not on a site. So yeah. But you can make the judgment what you want to do with it after you flip it. So it's like you can go, okay, well, science isn't going to help. I'm not going to negate sciences, but making everything cost 2 extra. Holy cow, that would be brutal, especially if I'm looking at 3 and now I can't stop an adversary.
Yeah, and with regards to that last effect, obviously it's something that you, in addition to playing that card, the Mad Scientist card, another card would have to be played in order to hinder the investigation, in order to make choosing that Mad Scientist effect even worthwhile. So obviously it becomes a question of having enough in the conspiracy pool to both afford this card as well as something else to upend the investigation. So yeah, it's like when we're dealing with like costs like this, it certainly becomes like a question like, is this card too expensive that it's so unappealing to include, or is it, or even just taking off 1 from the cost would make it way too powerful?
I think Dave's point about Dave made a really good point about the face down reduction cost on this card, and I think that being able to play this card for 4, if you got it face down, is like beginning to wander into like kind of needlessly good territory. I think it becomes like very strong at that point, and I think it's a more interesting card at 6.
Okay, cool. So I'm just kind of tallying how each person who plays that card is leaning towards, because we did, like I said, we had it come up. I think it was one of the games in it was probably one of the games on. Yeah, I'm scrolling back here. I thought it was one of the 2 games that was on Nathan's channel, but it didn't. Actually, I think it was it was the game with between Dave and Jonathan, actually.
Oh, really?
Is where it came up. Yeah, so drop. Yeah, that was one of the suggested changes to be made that came out of that game, Dave. I know it was a while ago. So I guess that might have been maybe Jonathan, who's actually is tuning in right now. I think that maybe that was his 2 cents that was thrown in with regards to that. So,
yeah.
If you want, if you want a tiny tweak to this, is like a compromise between the sides of leaving it as is and making it better. You could change the last mode, which is definitely the weakest, the cost increase one, to be increase the cost by 3.
By 3, okay.
I think that's a very minor. It's like a very minor concession that makes the card just like a little bit more powerful, but is like absolutely nowhere near like really sort of like radically.
Yeah, because if you're willing to throw 5 in for that to say you can't use, you're looking at the resource pool and preparing for throwing an adversary or something at it. It's like that team, but you can't negate it other than going off and getting yourself a witness or whatever, because your X now costs 3.
Okay.
Evasive maneuvers cost 7. Or 6. And 6 and then 7 for evasive maneuvers. I'm like, yeah, that's you can kill a team if you pay a lot. So you may not negate the, hey, I can't play this. I'm adding extra 3. Well, now I'm afraid of going to the site after you've just played that.
Okay. So that's another potential way to go, is increasing that last game to 3. I want to point out the inspiration for that, using that last game effect. The first 2 are probably pretty obvious because it's a mad scientist. The first 2 effects to choose from pertain to sciences, but the third one is a variation on the effect that's found on the bluff angry townspeople, which is played to increase the cost of each card played at the side by 1. And angry townspeople sort of harkens back to the film, Frankenstein, which you see all the townspeople with their torches and their pitchforks, going out to slay the monster. So I thought that was my reason for wanting to include that, in which you saw that in the episode as well. The mad scientist seen on the card also brought a village of angry townspeople to the farm in order to kill the great mutato. So that was kind of the inspiration for using that last effect for, anyone who, might be wondering about where we get our ideas from. Sometimes it's just, you look at the episode and what's happening with either that scene or that character, and how can you best translate the what's happening to a card effect. And so that was the inspiration behind that one. But yes, Alastair, thanks for the feedback. That is also worth considering. And I think this is going to be one of those where maybe once we wrap up playtesting, and I'll throw it out in our Discord community, so everyone who's involved in playtesting is like, I want everyone to weigh in on it. So what do you think? Increase the cost, or sorry, not increase the cost, decrease the cost, or increase the amount for the cards played at the site by 3? Does that cover it? Just try to arrive at a consensus or as close to one as possible. So thank you guys for your feedback on that one, and I will head to the back and let you guys carry on.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
So now feel free to throw something else at me.
one more attempt here to try and put a spanner in the works. Paying 2 this time for laser barrier. We had this one earlier. Going to attempt to prevent Langley from contributing his skills to this skill check. Do you have a way to counter it?
To be honest, since I've already used my Langley's, no, I do not. So you successfully stopped me. But I'm hoping that while that card goes into the discard pile, you said I didn't have any alien investigation in the discard pile, and I do now. So they are unsuccessful in that investigation because Langley was unable. But however, he was unable to. But I didn't have to burn the token to stop him to do it. So, all right. Well, they're just going to sit out there and be sad, go get a pizza or something like that, and we're going to send 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and buyers off to the other site to see what we can do. What's at the other site?
So the sad news for me is that I actually can't afford to play this bluff now because I had spent so much on stopping the team. This is an interesting one from the new set, Checkmate. It would have cost me 4 face down, and it's force your opponent to discard 1 keyword resource in play. If the resource card is attached to an agent at site, the agent is moved immediately to the hospital with 0 health. So
nice.
I wouldn't have gotten that because it would have had to target your witness in the bureau, but alas, I cannot afford it, so I will send it off to the discard.
But the plus side is that it takes away the what are the ones that's on patent, the ones, the bonus ones where you get to keep re-adding the extra things every turn, like alien investigation. I think UFO conference is one. I think I do like it, especially if you have attached it, because you now just kick them out as well, which is really nice. So yes, Alien 5. I have aliens, or not Alien 5, Computer 5, and I have Computer 6 at the moment.
You are clear for a question.
I'm clear. All right, this is a motive or a method. Well, I have the method, so I will not choose that. I will ask a motive question. What do I want to do? Okay. Woo, and it's a pretty much a 50-50 shot at that. Let's see. That's 1. That doesn't help. That will knock out an entire section. All right. I am going to ask, is your motive ideology?
Motive is not ideology, no.
Ooh, that's actually helpful. So not ideology. So, oh, actually that, yep. So that actually, okay. That takes out that one. So no alien listeners. So that's, this is number 3. So right now that's the biggie. It is not ideology, so it doesn't do anything with that. So that's still out there. It knocks out primordial. Nope, actually it, oh no, it did because of death. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why I crossed out Donnie faster when subterfuge was checked, but that's because I had already gotten death. And you said not knowledge, not, oh no, you said not ideology. So that didn't knock out as many as I wanted it to, sadly. Okay, but did knock out that one and knocked out that one. It is not ideology. Okay, let me mark those off here. Okay, so we got that one. We got 1, 2, 3. We still have a total of 4. Yeah, I should have gone with the other one instead. That's right. That's all right. We're at 4 at this point, but I can't. You have me at 3, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I cannot in good conscience say, yeah, I'm going to throw that away and that's going to go in the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 cards. No discard.
So no discarding here either. And with that, I will start my turn and draw a card. Okay, create some resource points. So from the FBI, I will take down and add 2. I've got 3 from Skinner, 2 from Stone Cipher, so that's 7, 8, 9, which puts me up to 10. And Blevins is going to use his 3 to go to Conspiracy, 2, 3, which puts up to 6. And buying cards. Actually, before I buy cards, I'm just going to quickly play a hard evidence again to net 3, which will jump up to 13. And then Definitely buy some cards here. I'll go for 5 cards, so down to 8 res. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And pass to you for generating some res there.
Okay, let's see.
Thank you, Stephen. That's very kind of you.
Okay. Okay, I think I need to get those. Yeah, that's not exactly helpful at this point. Let's see what this card do. That's not exactly helpful. That's not bad if I can make it happen. All right, sadly, I got to sell a bunch of stuff. Selling an icy cape, a Newark, New Jersey, a UFO conference, and a Froheki.
Oh.
So for a total of 9. Just solely because I need the resources or the CP to do it. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts me up to 10 total because I already had 1. Let's just double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, looking at what I have in my hand. This all might be problematic. Let's see. 10. Yeah, this is going to be bad. I'm gonna buy 3. Puts me down to 7. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Go, all you.
It's an ominous. Okay. So healing, no healing to do. Requisition, not requisitioning anything. Deployment. I'm going to leave things as they are. And we'll actually. No, I think we've gotten our money's worth out of Blevins, and we're going to send them into the field because we're approaching the end game one way or another here, I think. So Blevins to the field. Skinner will stay back in the bureau. And case assignment. Going to use the token here to pay for 1 bureaucracy site, which is San Clair again. This is the medical 5+, bureaucracy 5+, affiliation or method question. And then I'm going to spend another 2, dropping me to 6 res for Vancouver, British Columbia. This is one of the season 5 sites, and that is bureaucracy 4+ or for a method question. And with that, I will pass over to you, Dave, for any bluffs that you wish to play on them.
Well, let's see. All right, and I'm sorry, the 2 that were out there, I was like lamenting my hand. So I see the one we're repeating the one with the bureaucracy. That was the one that you lowballed for manipulation or for insanity or not insanity, ideology earlier, right?
No, this is actually a slightly different one. It is a double site. It's medical 5+, bureaucracy 5+, but there's no modifier option on it. So it's affiliation or method are the 2.
Okay, affiliation or method. All right. Well, let us put 1 on each site. Let's see what happens. I will put the medical one is this one. Or the medical bureaucracy one is that one.
So we're going to send Blevins and Stone Cipher to Vancouver, and Kinsley and Patton to St. Clair, and start our investigations at Vancouver. So this is the one without that one there. So yeah, go for it, Dave.
Okay. Sadly, it is a bluff, but not one I wanted to play. It is Alien Disguise. It says all adversaries played at this site may use martial arts, and any adversaries use martial arts or subterfuge cards. Would be nice if I had them. I do not at this point. So you get to ask that question.
So one method question. I will ask, is your method threats?
It is not.
Okay. And with it not being threats, I think I have got your X-File identified here. So I'm going to ask the identity question. Is your X-File Michael Holvey?
It is. Huzzah! Michael Holvey. Good job. Yeah, I had such a at the end I had 5-alarm fire on the other one, which would have been nice, but once again, it was more about grasping at straws. I did have an ad noctum out there, but I had no adversaries to help him out, and I had manipulating the circumstances, which is another. So I had 3 adversary helping cards in my hand, but not a single adversary. And yeah, it's just at the end there. So the guessing out of the gate was really helpful. I'm happy that I stayed in it. Let's see. If I had to guess, though, I'm trying to guess here because I had you down to 4.
You were close. You're very close.
Yeah, I had you down to 4. I had you between alien abductors, Colin Henderson, alien DNA steroid program, or Colonel Wharton. Colonel Wharton.
It was the alien DNA steroid program,
which is actually a really good one. I always like using that one as well. But yes, there we go. Yeah, it was actually a really good one, and we got a chance to use some of the cards. Yeah, at the end, I got stuck. With a bunch of season 5 cards that didn't have friends.
So. And you got plagued right from the get-go when Alastair got the ideology motive question.
Oh yeah, right out of the gate. That was a. I mean, getting the fact that I came back and got to 4, I was pretty impressed with that. And just being able to come back. I was tempted at one point. I couldn't get it to work, but I could have tried to do 3 computer sites in one turn, which would have helped out, especially when he was low on some res, or low on some CP. But that was it. But yeah, as far as the team, I like them. As with all X-Files games, it's like you can get a shot right across the bow right out of the gate, but they were able to keep the fight going. No one died. So, but yeah, I think as the cards that we played, I think we're pretty good. I still only got through that many cards.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the nature of the game, where if you get those questions right, it usually translates into a shorter game. And I say usually, but we have always and forever we'll see exceptions to the rule from time to time. Yeah, you made a good point to say that. Yeah, your gunman didn't suffer any scratches or bruises in the course of this game, which begs me to ask Alastair, did you have a lot of adversaries lurking in your deck?
I had 0 adversaries in my deck, and it would have been a great team to try and run them out against. So that was, a miscalculation on my part, but still pretty happy with how the conspiracy side played out for me. So no complaints.
Yeah, and you were using the third man to great effect. That was especially a highlight of this game for me, because I don't think we have seen the third man prior to this one. I'd have to double check all my notes, but I'm fairly certain I don't remember seeing it brought out at this point. Because, well, for one thing, Blevins isn't he isn't recurring. He isn't too much of a recurring agent. Even in the normal games we play with just commercially released cards. Although I do want to point out Nathan did use Blevins in the most recent playtest game prior to this one, but I don't think we saw. Yeah, we didn't see the third man. Yeah, no, we didn't see the third man, but I think he probably had him in that deck. It just didn't come up, but it did here, and I think it worked great. Alastair, you got it like early in the game, which is always helpful with resource cards such as that. How do you feel about like the cost of the card and what you got out of it in the course of this game? Did you feel it was appropriately priced?
Yeah, it seems totally fine to me. Very happy with how it performed in that game. I think it's one of those cards where it's a fun one for friendlies. I don't think it's like a bad card. I would be surprised to see it in tournament lists. I think it's like probably not quite there for like playing at the very highest level of X-Files, but that's okay. It's really important to have a mixture of cards for all types of gameplay in these new sets. So I think Third Man and the way it works in that game for me felt like very, very solid for its cost and what it was doing. So I would say, yeah, no changes necessary. Seems good.
Excellent.
Yeah, because it helped out because he was getting 3 regardless of what he did, right? As long as he stayed in the bureau, and he was still only when he contributed to the CP.
Only when he contributed to the conspiracy pool, which when you use Krychek and Blevins, you're not doing that every time. It really boils down to like what your pool's looking like.
Yeah, but in his case, it worked out really well solely because he was getting 10 CP pretty much a turn. So you were looking at 10 10 CP, 10 RP, because that's that is a very strong RP deck. That's getting that one. So you get a lot of res out of that one. Yeah, and sadly, the one card that I wanted to come out was the summoned by the stars, because I had the other card which would have just abducted all of his people. So because everybody goes from law to abductee, which is nice because it's only cost 1. It goes along with the 6 of the other one. But if you don't have the 2 of them together. It's literally, that's why it's like how many cards have abductee on them right now? You have to use something like this to get that on them. So that's why when I had that early, I had it most of the game. I was just hoping that I could hit something like this, but I'm not going to burn burn something like a one breath to go find this.
Well, there is a card in this expansion that will allow you to search your deck to pull any abduction or abductee card, and that's called staged abductions. And I think the cost is only like 2 or something like that. So that's a good one to go and pull. Like if you're trying to cater your decks to the abductee keyword, which is a big thematic component of this expansion, there is an abductee card that I tucked in the season 4 expansion, just one. So I thought that like
actually it's probably in here because that would have been the reason why I would have included this, because I also wanted to include this because it's season 5. So and I was hoping for it to get, and I too bad. And the one thing I would say about Verber is whether or not you can do both in the one. It doesn't say you can only do it once per turn.
That's a good point. Should it?
No, not really, because I pay the 4 now, knowing that it's going to happen later. It has to come out of the discard pile. So I don't think so, because that would allow me to down the line pay. I just saved 2, but I paid 4 to do it. It just happened to be I had it in my hand and wanted to play it because it's the one. Yeah, it's Alien Investigation. It works down the line if you want to play a bunch of sites, but if you've already played them, you can get them out of the garbage, which is helpful, especially if you're site starved. But
and of course, as soon as you use those 2 tokens, it's gone. So using them both in one go, and it's like, well, you got
Yeah,
all
but
your
he
head out of that
costs
card.
4 to put him on the table so that
Mhm.
you can save 2
Yep.
in the future, which is I don't know. I mean, other than the fact that he was 4, I would have burned him for CP at some point. That's the
Mhm.
only reason I kind of added him in here just in case it worked. And it was that one point I was like, I had him in my hand. I had a whole bunch of RPs, so I figured I might as well throw him out there. But so I don't know. I don't know about him because I think the reason I kept him was because he was worth 4 and it
Mhm.
would have been a burn fodder.
Alistair,
thing to
what
think
you were
about,
about to say something?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, one small thing to think on with this is that if you can use both the tokens straight away, if you have things in your discard, you can drop that card and basically remove an opponent's ability to react to it because you can immediately just go, I'm going to use both the tokens, and they're not going to be able to play a card to send it to send the event to the discard, right? That's my understanding of how timing would work. Even if I said,
because so if I played him during my briefing phase, well, I
Mhm.
could play him at the tail end of my briefing phase, play him down, and go, okay, I'm going to immediately go and draw these 2 cards from the thing. I would have to show them to you because they have to be. You have to know that they're going to be valued 1 less. But yeah, it's a good point because then it just goes away and you can't negate it. But you got 1 card that does it. If I did it beforehand. Because usually a lot of witness negators are bluffs and events.
you can still negate them, but you can't destroy them, right? Is the difference. It's not a huge not a huge consideration, but it's just a little one, like, because it actually occurred to me in that game that we played there, where I was like, well, the reason I stopped to ask Dave was I was like, well, if Dave has 2 cards in there, there's no I tried to play the bluff out of sequence, it wouldn't have worked anyway. But even if I'd had a card that did work at that phase in the game, was that there's no point playing the card because Dave can just go, well, I'm going to use the 2 tokens like in response to you playing that card and go get those cards before you destroy it anyway. Yeah.
What was the card that you were going to play in response to that? But you like, oh, I can't do that. Sorry, I didn't know what that was when I came out.
That was the bluff that got rid of if I didn't make the site, you had to get rid. I got rid of a witness or something like that.
Checkmate is you just force your opponent to discard 1 keyword resource. I messaged Stephen earlier today just to check on this. It is your choice as the conspiracy players. So basically, I can choose one of your keyword resource cards, and then you have to discard it. And if it's attached to an agent at the site, the agent is moved immediately to the hospital with 0 health.
I get why you took it back, because it wasn't that point to play bluffs. That's right.
Yeah. My favorite way to get in trouble in the X-Files game, attempt to play bluffs in the briefing phase.
And remember, you were talking about staged abductions, so that was the reason why I also added that, because I was like, okay, what are you doing? Stop trying to get out. So yeah, I mean, it was very close. It was closer than I thought it would be, especially after the guess out of the gate. But it's they held up, they held their own. I think they did, and you took the same direction I did of making sure that you had a deck built around your. Take that, Jonathan.
Dave, you made the course correction really quickly in the game as well. It was good. I mean, it was really good work. Like on literally, I think I had my first investigating phase, got a correct guess, and then I went to your turn, and you got a correct guess, and you got a wrong guess as well. So
yeah, the wrong and then correct. So yeah, I went from 1 to 2. Yeah,
definitely made quick work of getting back in there.
I'm just making a note that to add once per turn to Dr. Height's Verber. That is, thankfully, this was a as like I was gonna say, if it weren't for that, we might not have any suggested changes to come out of this playtest, and that would be a first, because the previous 8 we came up with a lot of things that needed some modification. And there is precedent for like witness resources that do have tokens, like the Senator Richard Matheson witness from the commercially released ones. It does say once per turn to remove one of the 3 tokens to get that skill modifier effect. So there's precedent, and so again, we try to adhere faithfully to what's come before, and I'll try to work that in there. The tricky thing with this card, and if Dave, you've got it in front of you there, is that it's very tight on the text. So going to have to get a little bit creative and try to find some ways to be very succinct on that. The quote's not even that very big, so it's really going to be a matter of trying to find some ways to sharpen that language there so that it's obviously it makes sense to everyone and covers all those little nuances.
Yeah,
so,
because that would be the one problem. Yeah, that would be the thing is, I guess I think it's worth, for me, it's worth 4 if you were able to play them both at once. If not, I don't know if it would be something I'd keep because I don't know, because it just seems like it was, to me, I added them for extra burn fodder and I end up playing him. Just solely because, okay, I've got some alien investigation. I had no behavioral, but my alien investigation, so I've got a majority of in this deck is pretty much computer evidence and alien investigation. Everything else is just kind of like squeaking by, and it makes it by most of the staples, barring Thompson. He doesn't like Thompson. Everybody else, the team as a whole will make it by everybody but Thompson.
Okay.
So
Rubber kind of feels okay though because it's costed in line with grid pattern search, right? That you're like, grid pattern search is 2, you get 1 card. This is 4.
Yeah, but it's 1 card. You don't get any bonus from grid pattern. You get the bonus from that to like 1 less. So I guess because you're able to grid pattern twice for the cost of the card and then get 1 negative RP. So you can still get it in your hand. I mean, it's nice because I would have just used it to play those 2 that I just played the turn prior. If I had made it another round, those would have both come out again. And that would have helped out because then I would have 2. And then if I had an extra site to throw out there, I could try to just throw everything against the wall, see what's stuck. So
another thing I'm really considering with this card, because as it currently says, Dave, and again, you've got it in front of you, is that if
I shuffled them back in.
Oh, okay. So as the current iteration of the card says, if the chosen card has the keyword alien investigation or behavioral, the cost to play it is reduced by 1. What I'm looking at for the modification is that he can retrieve only an alien investigation or behavioral card from the discard pile, and it can be immediately played for one RP less.
Oh, okay. So actually he can do, okay. So if he's also, okay, that's a different animal then, because if I missed that part because I was just focused
no, you didn't miss it. It's like what I'm considering as a change, as a way of making it more succinct.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, the fact is, I could have been able to play, so I could have bought 2 monos. I could have just gone in there and got 2 mono sites, alien investigation. Both alien investigation 4. If I had a strong alien investigation team, spend 1 apiece on them to get them back on the field. I would have been fine with it just being for. That's why I would have said it's kind of a weird one. If you made him so that he could get anything, I'd keep him in all the decks at 4.
Okay.
Just solely because if you can go and dig anything out of it's a grid pattern search, and then it gives you a bonus, so you don't have to spend it. Yeah, that would be the only reason I would think that would be. It's grid pattern plus 2, which you would have got. You would have got that anyway. But you still have to go
reduction, through a potential price reduction. In the case of this modification, you would have to cater your deck to either alien investigation and or behavioral. And you would still get that price reduction on playing the card, which most people, I think, will use this for retrieving sites, if I had to guess, most of the time. But that's not to say they might not be used to get other cards. But usually it's going to be a site with those keywords. Though occasionally you do see them on conspiracy cards, not very often, but he could theoretically be played that way. But with this modified,
it's 1 RP, not
1 RP less. It would have to be played immediately with the modified one. So you wouldn't be able to get a conspiracy card and play that. You'd have to hold on to that, play it next turn.
Yeah, well, that's
if you
the same
want to
thing.
go that route.
Once again, I'm still in the camp of unless the card states to play an RP card works during an RP turn, like during your active turn. That's when I can pull 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, Kresge. Well, Kresge's is still the weird animal because that's your fault, Mike. It's I don't know. I mean, for me, if he can get, I did not actually see it. Did he? Oh, wow! I'm a magician.
There he is.
Um,
Is this your card?
Yeah, holy crap. I just cut the deck and there he was. Okay, place this card. It says remove a token to select one card from your discard pile and place it in your hand. Okay, see, okay, that I missed the part that I could hit anything. But I was focused on getting the 2 sites back.
Right.
That was the goal, because I didn't have the alien investigation sites in my hand, but I knew they'd be coming. So I guess when I had so many resources, it was worth it for the small investment now to just wait versus having to throw them away or getting rid of them because I had too many cards in my hand or whatever, or keeping them to burn or whatever. So I guess your investment in the future is you spend the 4 here to be able to go digging in the future to pull out a card and get a value out of it. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. The fact is he can go get any card, grid pattern search wise. I think that yeah, 4 is fine. I'm fine with
Okay.
4.
But what if I modify it to be that he can only go in and get either an alien investigation keyword or behavioral keyword card? And if played immediately, it's going to be the 1 cost reduction.
That gets a little granular, I think.
Well, again, depending on you build your deck, you build your deck with alien investigation sites or behavioral sites.
You build a deck entirely around 1 witness that happens to be in there. I guess if you're playing manners heavy, you can go dig them out early and go and do that and prep up for the future. But you want to get out of the gate fast. You don't want to go, all right, let's use manners to get this, to pay 4 from my initial hand so that I'll be ready in the future when I don't have a discard pile. So it's like literally you have to try to go get it.
When you're building a deck, I mean, generally speaking, I won't speak for everyone, but by and large, I would say it's a safe bet that when we're building at least the RP portion of our deck, we start with the site. Well, we start with the team. We get the team of agents first, then we start with the sites that are going to match the skills contained by the agents. And so you get all your sites, and then you look at the cards that are going to best benefit those specific sites that you've chosen. Like, for instance, if I'm going alien investigation, I'm going to include an Erlenmeyer flask. I'm going to include alien discretion. This would be a witness I would include because of those keywords. And if I have like Mulder and Karen Kossoff on my team, then I'm definitely going to have a deck that's heavy in alien and behavioral as an example. So the card would most likely be able to cater to
but it's not like I pick him and go, I'm going to build around him and see. And nobody does that. I mean, no one
does it. It's just it's a nice card to include when when you're going for a particular theme with respect to like, okay, I'm going to go these kind of sites are what is going to be largely occupying my deck. So you sometimes have cards that cater to specific skills. So you include those in there. Because the sites because it goes well with the sites that you have chosen. So it's kind of like it's going well with the sites, not that you're building around that card necessarily.
Now the card itself, it's if you place that, and because it allows you to grid pattern twice. So like Alastair was saying, he was like, it's literally like, okay, grid pattern twice. And then you get the bonus of the extra stuff on it. So yeah, I can see that now, because for me, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go out and get 2 sites. I didn't notice the caveat of go and get anything.
Right.
So knowing that is worth the 4. I think it's worth the 4 because I would use them as burn fodder if I was in a pinch. I could still play them, still grid pattern twice, and get the bonus of having like if I needed 2 sites in a pinch. I think he's fine.
Alastair, what do you feel about the once per turn or not once per turn? Where do you land on that?
So I think I was going to say really quickly, I think it's a significantly worse card if it is just the keywords alien investigation and
I wouldn't use it.
Things that you're retrieving. Another thing to remember about this when you're trying to keep it in line with grid pattern to some extent is that this is a bigger investment as well. So you're paying with grid pattern, you're paying 2, and they have to use a card to counter each one if they want to stop it. With this, you're paying 4, and they just have to use 1 card to send it packing. So you already have a bit of a downside on this one compared to grid pattern in the it's quite vulnerable as a witness to getting countered, and then you only have to counter it once to stop both the searches from happening on your discard. So it's more eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's an it does seem mechanically awkward. It's like, okay, I'm playing this card, I'm gonna take both tokens off, and I'm gonna go search for 2 cards simultaneously. That is I can't say there's
it's just the fact that you get blown out. If someone can counter this, with when you think of grid pattern search, you're playing that twice. They have to counter it twice. With this, you're paying more, and if they counter it, they get the person countering your card is going to get that value of just being like, I only had to use 1 card. It's 4 resources, not 2. And so,
but there are far fewer things that can negate RP events than there are things that can get rid of your events, the CP events. That's the difference, I think. That's the only thing I could think of is like, because you need alien experimentation, which is already a pricey card anyway. And there's a couple now, like the new bluff that you had there, Checkmate would allow you to get rid of a resource.
Well, there are anti-resource cards like You've Got a Tail from the commercially released cards. I think that cost 2 or 3. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, but that was also, it's like, it was very, I mean, I could count on one hand how many times I'd seen that, just solely because we play a lot of, I mean, I play some friend in the FBI, sometimes Rejuvenating Caves, but I'm usually pretty burn heavy. So I usually don't worry too much about Rejuvenating Caves. Friend is nice to continue to get you in case you're really in trouble, but if you can get a decent, I've never usually had a huge trouble keeping hold of resources. Sometimes I can get a little lean, but I don't know enough to add I don't know. You guys use it all the time. I don't use Rejuvenating Caves and Friend of the FBI as much as you guys do. I don't use hard evidence at all. And so, but that's just me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
my quick 2 cents on Verber is just that I think it's actually fine as it is. I would leave it as that.
I agree. Now that I know that you can search for anything, I agree it's fine with this.
But adding once per turn in there, and of course I have to add discard this card when the last token gets removed.
That would be once again that block of text is going to be this long.
Yeah,
so you're able to go get anything out of them using the tokens. Put 2 tokens on. So there's got to be a little truncation in there. You gotta really get very conservative with with wording because you're going to run out of space on that.
That is partly why that's partly why that's a lot of that's the reason why I was exploring other alternatives, and it is significantly shorter if I say once per turn remove a token to select any one alien investigation or behavioral card, as opposed to
I wouldn't use it if it was that granular though. I mean, but granted, in my case, I thought it was that granular. I was just playtesting it, but now that I know that it's not as granular, I can get anything out of the discard pile.
Dax is going to love modifying this card for sure.
Yes.
He'll have to probably just ultimately resort to reducing the font size by a couple of clicks. He's not going to be a fan of it.
I had a hard enough time reading it as it is. Now let's make the font size smaller.
I know. So it's it's a fine line, and I can't tip my hat to Dax enough for trying to find that fine balance between being able to read the card easily and fitting all the text that we're trying to squeeze in there. Alastair, what else did you have on that?
One quick question. Have we settled yet on whether witness resources go automatically to the bureau section when you play them? Is that somewhere that you could drop a few words?
It does say in the rules with regards to resource cards that if the card effect doesn't tell you where to place it on the playmat, then you default to the bureau. Essentially, I don't have the page number, but it's in there. There's a section for resource cards where it explains that these cards stay on there throughout multiple rounds, and this is where you put it if it doesn't say otherwise. A lot of times with the CP resource cards, they're going to say place it next to your X file. Usually they'll say that. But with resource cards like, say, Kevin Morris, it doesn't say where to put that one. So that one goes in.
I know where David wants to put that one.
I know David wants to put that one too. Yeah, those ones go in the bureau. But then there are ones like Dr. Diamond, who adds one to the agent's skill. So that one's getting attached to an agent. Samantha Mulder adds one to the team subterfuge. So she's out in the field attached to a team.
Because that's where the focus becomes about psychotic attack. Psychotic attack is the big one that, remember, the pheromone-induced psychosis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the one that always throws me off, because if there's a witness on the field and you throw that on there, and now that witness is attacking, but then people say, well, she's in the bureau, or he's like, all right. Usually that's where I go, there's kind of like a nebulous area for witnesses for me, because I think that you're going to a site, you play it, he's out in the field somewhere, and if he's assisting in some way. But I don't know with a resource one like this. Like, that's where I wouldn't use pheromone induced unless it's very particular, because now that's why I would like to use it against Kevin Morris, but I can't, because Kevin Morris is his own entity floating around in a resource pool, because he must be on the cell phone calling into the agents to let them know what's going on.
Well, no, he's channeling it through the TV like he did in the episode. Remember,
so they're all at Icy Cape, Alaska, deciding to watch some TV so they can figure out what's going on with Kevin Morris, so he can pay for the stupid card.
Yep, it's just transmitting via satellite and all that. So yeah, it's a Defense Department satellite transmission that, that's what got the NSA's panties all in a twist, and that's why they came out and questioned Kevin and his mom in that episode. So Alastair, to answer your question, yes, the resource cards where it doesn't say where they go in the bureau.
So this is where I'm wondering whether you could trim, because at the start of this one you have placed this card in your bureau section. I'm just wondering if you could some way manage to lose off words.
Yeah.
If that's already rules, maybe you can trim there somehow.
Play this witness and place 2 tokens on it, so at least you cut out in your the bureau, which is a decent chunk.
Here, I'm pulling Matheson because I just want to see how how it's worked. Okay. Place 3 token. You know what? I like that, Alastair.
Yeah. It's a resource, so if the resource is just going where it's going, then there's no debate.
Place 3 token. I'll just start it with place 2 tokens on this card, the way Senator Matheson does. That is a nice little chunk of text there. Place 2 tokens on this card. Excellent.
Yeah. Because to be honest, we all kind of default to just playing them in a generic little area there. We don't put them in the field next to the agents. They all kind of just go in the bureau unless they say play them to add to something to a site. Like, we'll go and play, we're going to play so-and-so on the site to assist these people, and then I will go away. But the resource ones have a tendency of just sitting around in the ether, just hanging out and waiting for something to happen.
And I like the idea that this is going to be a card that, well, I mean, it's I don't even need to say like place it in the bureau, because if I don't say it, he's going to get placed in there anyway. So it works.
He's a resource. You're going to usually, where do you put friend in the FBI? Do you just sit him in the bureau, or does it just default?
It says on the card to place friend in the FBI in the bureau, and Rejuvenating Cave says place next to your X-File. So that helps a little bit. Hopefully that will. What else do you have? Any other thoughts on the card? I know you don't have it in front of you, Alastair, like Dave does, but
I've got it up on my PDF of the set here. So
I think knowing that he can go. I was worried he cost too much if it was just for digging out alien investigation sites. That was been too much. Now that's what I wanted to use him for, but knowing that I could play him in a future. I could use for future grid patterns, or helping myself out with -1 to 8. And I could play 2 sites for free, because most of the mono sites, or most of the duo sites are they always cost 1. So you can play it for free. That's awesome, and especially if you can play him because you already went to him and go get him again. So I think he's fine at 4.
Stephen, my only other eagle-eyed spot on where you might be able to reduce text here is The flavor text could probably go down to I've taken a lot of criticism from my work with alien abductees. Stop the and in the field itself, but you could probably cut if you're desperate to save some characters.
I mean, Dax is going to put the character's name on a new line anyway. You know, he's not going to attach it to because I think that's the standard format is like the character. Well, I don't know. Well, no, he did it here, so I don't know. I guess
I think he was just trying to save space on this one.
As you can see, yeah, he was desperate for every little bit of real estate. You know, that's a good idea too. All right.
Yeah, with that revision, you save one line on the card.
One line, yeah, and sometimes that makes all the difference in his world. So I'm sure if he's watching, he's like, "Oh, thank you for the feedback," because it's easy for us to throw out ideas for these cards, but he's the one who's got to translate that to this very small template. All right, the cost to play this card is reduced, and I could also say instead of spelling out one O-N-E, I could always just say one, the number one. Again, every little bit of character.
Yeah, right now, because if you say play this card along with 2 tokens, it basically pulls up an entire line. Versus place this card in your bureau section, because that entire thing goes away. So place this card in your bureau section, you play this along with 2 tokens. Yeah, to play this card with 2 tokens and put 2 tokens on it or whatever. Remove a token to select 1 card. Mm-hmm. You could also say select a card versus 1 card.
Yep.
I don't know. You can you're pruning a little 2 letters, but
yeah.
A card from the discard pile
implies 1.
It doesn't. A card and 1 card is the same card. Discard pile and remove a token to select 1 card.
I mean, really, Alastair,
and add it. You can also say and add it to your hand.
Yeah, and I mean, Alastair, with that first suggestion, you just basically eliminated that whole first line on the card, which is really going to help when I have to discard this card when the last token is removed. So that I think right there, that's going to probably help quite a bit. And with any luck, we won't have to worry about the text size getting diminished. But if it does, then the next course of action can be looking at then the flavor text, which again, it's decidedly small at this point, but yeah, we can trim it, or I can come up with a different quote altogether. Although I particularly I think this one's very suitable for it. If I can keep it, great. So yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very effective change for it. So bravo. I know you guys played the Skinhead Man, although it got negated. Thank you so much for talking out how that would have played out had it gone. And it sounded like I got the sense you guys were both on both sides. You were content with the cost of the card, the effect, no issues there.
Affiliation, he's 6. He's not overly powerful. So against a strong team in long range, he's toast.
Mm-hmm.
However, he can take out a small agent in round 1 in long range, but if he gets close, he's going to start digging in, and I like that because it was nice. And then also I added ambush in here because I added ambush. I don't add a lot of subterfuge cards, but ambush is one of them I do, or combat cards. Ambush is probably the only one that ever makes it, other than first aid. First aid has kind of gone away from me. I don't use it as much as I used to because it's you got to have it in your hand during a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not like you play it after the fight to heal him as he's going away. Just give me a healing card and then give me a successful diagnosis. Get me 2. So I might as well just wait for the next turn versus doing it for free in a fight just in the off chance I'm in a fight.
Yeah. Alastair, so you incorporated a new deck compared to the one you did in the first playtest. Were there any cards that you were really hoping to get out on the mat that we didn't get to see tonight?
That's a good question. I think we got to see most of them. I don't think there was a lot.
How many cards did you have in your deck, by the way? I think mine's sitting around 80, I think 90.
I had 60 or 61, so pretty.
Okay, so you're pretty streamlined too.
Yeah,
nice. And that's not easy to do with a deck that is coming in with a new expansion, because that's hard to do. Because there's a lot of it. there's a greater universe of cards now to choose from when you're building these decks. So yeah, that 60 cards. So bravo. I guess it also helps, like, especially for Dave, like, well, I've got Langley and Frohickey in my team, so I don't necessarily need to worry about
But I still want them in the 2 of them in the deck, because you can mailman, you can kill so if you mailman, you can take it off my guy, especially with so many team agents with things. And this is the first time Byers worked, I guess, as intended. He was going to work a second time as intended had he not been sent had Langley not been sent away. But yeah, I couldn't see playing the lone gunman together all the time. I can kind of see them being added into decks to kind of supplement and be added in. Now, I also had the witness, the other witness that resource witness that comes in, and she can say she can attach to the watchdog. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Suzanne Modeski. Yeah, we didn't see her this time. I do want to point out, with regards to Byers, there is one change that I'm going to be making, which is that his medical skill is going to be changed to bureaucracy. So perhaps, Alastair, with that in mind, maybe he might be a worthwhile inclusion on that bureaucracy team that you brought tonight, which is very heavy on the bureaucracy. So maybe Byers might have a place on a team such as that in a later team that you're constructing.
Yeah, I mean, and I was thinking on, I can't remember if we were talking about this on after we started recording or not, but thinking more on how fair or not the built-in game effect for Langley and Frohickey is in the game. The fact that you can use like a Langley token and then use the Langley bluff in the same turn, is it too good? I don't know. It felt okay in that game.
But considering that's his only ability beyond that, it's nice to have. I mean, either I played that, or I have. I mean, if you could have 2 Langleys in your hand, I've seen that before too, where you can go Langley on top of Langley. It doesn't prevent you from doing it twice. But yeah, it does kind of either you're going to throw something at me to make me burn it. It's that whole hallway mechanic again, is do I take the token from my card to make one go away, and then you just hit me with something right behind it? That's where I like that whole, because you could do that with that one card. Once his token's gone, he's useless. He's an agent.
We see that with Burke from time to time when it comes to occult adversaries. Sometimes you just like burn that.
You dig them out. You basically throw basically a chump in there, and then you chump block them with that, and then you hit them with a Dark Angel. It's like that's why I've always loved that.
I'll cite the final tournament game as a great example, when we saw 2 Dark Angels played back to back, for instance.
One of talking about ones that I didn't get to play was Faces of the Seraphim, which is the occult negator. I think that was one of the only ones that came up that depending on how David structured his adversaries, I was
not too many occult. I mean, I guess my adversaries, basically I wanted to add any of the season 5 stuff. I tried to add as many as I could, but they had to be reasonable. And I have a tendency of, when I do build the decks, I want to kind of have a shotgun blast of things. I don't want to like lean into, let's go affiliation and only affiliation. That's silly. I want the option to actually, oh God, no wonder there's a bunch of sites at the bottom. Yeah, it's like, so I did have, I did use Ursulum Goes Viral. I did not get a chance to use it. And that actually works really well against anyone who doesn't have computer, right? Is that, or because it's the one that,
or no, it works well against anyone that does have computer.
Yeah. Well, it says the adversaries will, one round of long range. Okay, but that's 7.
And actually, that one is going to be changed. Actually, the adversary only targets agents with either a computer skill.
That's where it ends, because the thing is, if nobody has computer skill, he will go for one row, and you got to only use computer. And if you don't have computer, he's pretty powerful against against somebody who doesn't have computer. You don't want him to go against computers.
You would have been able to play him because Alastair had the cell phone on Skinner, and that is included on the text for that card, actually.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that was on there.
So the modified text for this card is going to be: this adversary only targets agents with either a computer skill, a cellular phone, or an electrical equipment card.
I'm going to say I would never use it at that point. No offense to that, because as long as if everybody has computer skill, they're going to have the beef to kill it. So if the fact is you're using your computers, there's no reason to add that to now that the reason I like to add this to this deck was the fact is it said they have to use their computer skill to do it. Was it other one in season 4 where a doctor said you had to use your medical skill? And if
that's where you have to use your medical skill as your value in place of your value. Yeah.
So like in this case, this one basically would Langley, the lone gunman would kill this. They'd kill it. Now he'd be able to do his 7, and it's NA. So it's like he still would do damage to 1.
Langley would kill the living machine would not fare well against a lone gunman team, which I think is fitting. You know, the lone gunmen know their way around a computer.
Because this one's the thing. Only reason that keeps this thing alive is that the fact is it costs 6. Yeah, it says the grandmother treatment. It says split among. It's only one, but it's only one round split among, and they're gonna they basically can kill it it's not, they don't even kill it anyway. It's just because it's one round of long range. That's it. And then it goes away. Right? Okay. So it's one round. It just does its thing. It just attacks people. What do you want, dog? I also have Gnaw the Vampire. I wanted to see if that one worked. I know you changed something in that.
I mean, it keeps coming up. Like I'm gonna change the activator to affiliation site more than likely on that one, but it's every time you played, because Epic Agent is just a little too broad.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he can attack and he's a vampire, so you can't really do anything with him right out of the gate. I would probably go away from affiliation because Skinhead's affiliation. That would be the only thing.
It's pretty balanced. Like like the adversaries, the adversaries collectively in this set, there should be, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 results, 2 methods, 2 affiliations. You just happen to have that going on in there.
Yeah. Here's Chinga's play. I wanted to put Chinga's play out there, but that's because I wanted to play test it. So it's like I had that. I had the other one, that Michelle Vazakis. That was the other one I added that I wouldn't. That was adding to it. That was adding to a team. Now, see, that was the one that adds to a team. So that would be a resource that hangs around.
Yep. Just like Charlie Toscani, she's just a variation on that one.
So does she just kind of hang out in the field at that point when the team goes away?
But if all the team, if the team,
no, I'm saying, but okay, so I send her out there. She helps out Langley and Frohickey at some point. What happens when Langley? Do they always have to follow Langley and Frohickey?
Well, she's attached to a team and not one agent. So what happens is, as long as there's at least one agent on the team that she's attached to, she stays. But if she's ever by herself, then she gets discarded, or if her health gets reduced to 0, as it says on the card. Same idea that applies with the Charlie Toscani one. Is he'll just follow the team around. If you split your team and go to 2 sites, you choose which
site he hangs out on. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. And then if that team gets destroyed, then that witness is gone, because even though there is still some agents on another team at a different site, but that witness is by itself, then it just gets discarded then.
Oh, and of course I had abduction.
I mean,
like I said, you were talking about leaning into that abduction thing, and that's what I did. I was trying to go with a lot of abduction cards. That's why I tried the summoned by the stars, which I couldn't get out. I did have distrust in here. I do like Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn was the other one, but this one wouldn't have helped for you because this is the one where it's increased without bureaucracy. So this was Cohn would not have worked for you at all. So that was, but But yeah, but I do
Yeah,
like
Alistair would have just brushed that card off. Yeah.
But
I
there
was
are a
wondering-
lot of cards that do that though. It's like you get that you throw. I can't throw bureau. I couldn't throw a Thompson at you. You're like, sure, go ahead and pay for that Thompson.
Yeah.
So
Just made my life easier. So I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, sounds good.
Dinner bell's ringing.
I got a dog that's bugging me. Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, he's trying to get out. So again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to put these cards through a stress test, and I hope we get a chance to see you guys do another play test, because you guys did go through a lot of time and a lot of ink to print those out. So I want to make sure you get them put to good use. So thank you both for doing that. And I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch this game, both live and the recording later. Please, if you haven't hit that subscribe button as of that point, please do so and throw a comment in there or hit that like button. All of that is really appreciative. And we're going to shut the door to this X-Files office. But we're going to shut the door to this X-Files office for now. But please be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Alien Investigations. Good night, everyone. And we are out.